Attorney General's information is on there. Election protection information is on there. So there are a number of different numbers to call. Please have that with you. We have also given you a checklist. So when you show up at a polling place, again, look for the correct signage, look that the doors are open, look that poll workers are giving accurate and complete information. There's a checklist of things that you can sort of walk through. And finally, we've also given you the federal court order that talks about the reasonable impediment process. So if you have to go inside and say, this is what a federal court signed, right here is the federal court signature, here's the language, here's the declaration. You know, why are you misinforming voters? You have that as a resource right there. And then the PowerPoint walks through much of what we've just gone over together here today. And ultimately, if you have any questions, call me or call the 888 election protection number, where lawyers are basically sitting behind a desk all day and can answer many of the same questions that I'm also available to answer. I do have a few of them here, so I'll leave some of those, and then if anyone needs anything that I talked about that they don't think they have, just email us. We'll make sure to email it to you tonight if you're calling in or looking remotely.
Now, if you have, say I have 25 or 30 of these cards.
Give them away.
Just give them away.
Give them away. Those materials, well, they'll be useful if there's a runoff or subsequent elections this year and the law hasn't changed. But we want to give all of the information that we have given you. So the court order, the comic, the infographic, you can give those to voters and they can take them inside the polling booth. This is just information. There's nothing that prohibits them from taking it inside or reading it while they're online. That is information that they have access to. And we have, for those who are in the room, we have tons of that information. I think Mary Kelly offered to get some to folks in Dallas. Or if you're at your computer, you just need one or two. You can hold it into your hand and show it to voters as they're coming in and out of the polling precinct. Or look on your smartphone, which is what a lot of people, are using today too, as a resource.
So, those of us who are not attorneys, can we do the same thing?
For people who are non-attorney volunteers, this information, you're not acting as anyone's lawyer, no one is your client, so you can provide the same information. I just ask that if anyone has any doubt about what they're telling a voter, just call me or call the 1-800 number. It's better to give people the right information or try to find the right information than giving people incorrect information. We don't want to frustrate anyone with misinformation on election day.
So have you guys already assigned people at different places?
So most people who called in on the phone have been assigned particular polling precincts in Houston, in Dallas, in outside of the suburbs of Dallas and Austin. If there's anyone who called in who has not been giving polling precincts for tomorrow, please contact Mary Kelly and myself. Again, my number is 646-645-5342. And Mary Kelly and I have been emailing most of you, so just email us as well, and we can send you additional precincts and one thing I want to say about the precincts too is we trust your instinct about what makes sense with your time. If you go to a polling precinct and it's just busy and you're really interacting with voters, stay there all day. You don't have to go to all the precincts that we gave to you. If it's quiet at one of the precincts, stay there for 20 minutes or half an hour or an hour, and then rotate to the next one. As you all know from your own experience, there's an ebb and a flow in a voting day. There's tons of people before 7 a.m., not 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. And then it gets crazy again around lunch, and then around 4 or 5 o'clock when people get off of work up until 7 p.m. when the polls close, it gets busy. So rotate around based upon your schedule and based upon the need for you there. But we're asking you to use your judgment. If we gave you 8 precincts and you don't get to 8 precincts, that's okay. If you spend your whole day at one precinct because it serves thousands of voters and they need you there, stay there all day. So use your judgment. We trust your judgment about what makes sense for your time and what is making sense for the voters. Are there any other questions for those on the phone?
Repetir que usted tiene el derecho de votar en español y tienen ayuda en español. Y,
Any other questions for anyone on the phone?
Rudy Smith, I'm a volunteer.
Yes.
I haven't received the polling place yet.
Have you emailed Mary Kelly or myself?
Yes, I did. I answered you, the last email I got was around 2 something.
Okay, so,
we want to thank you for listening and participating. And thank you to all Council members to one of Galveston. Remember their Cinco de
are there
Mayo
any other questions
celebration
for those on the
on
phone?
November
Or
7th
in the
in
room?
Galveston. May 7th in Galveston, and prepare for that. Thank you. That's the end of this broadcast.